Hello, everyone, and welcome to day two of this 30-day Living an Authentic Life Challenge. Today, we're having a conversation about intention. And I don't know how many of you have ever heard of the saying, say what you mean what you say. And when you walk through that journey, you get the chance to have some other conversations that will support you. So today, we're going to talk a little bit more about it. And as we walk through the conversation, I want you to think about, have you ever asked somebody for something and they said that I meant to do it? Yeah. If somebody constantly says, I meant to do something and you were dependent on it, that does something to your soul. Because in the midst of them saying, I meant, what if you needed them to give you some money to pay for food? And especially in the United States, as we're walking through some conversations about food, let that be your thoughts. Let that be your journey about let's get it together and mean what you say. Because what people have already had is a fault of not doing what they said they would do. That has a ramification. It snowballs into other things. Like I meant to pick you up, or I meant to do this, that, and the other, and you depended on it. If they weren't going to come through for you, you could have made other arrangements. But now you're in a position where it doesn't feel like you can make any other changes. So if you are an individual that's in a position where you're probably dealing with a lot right now, and you're counting on somebody to mean what they say in a process and they're not doing it, it does something to you. So in this challenge, we're having those discussions about what can you look at? And thank you so much for those of you that are joining us live. We're sharing the first part of this with those individuals that are in different platforms. So put your comments down below as we walk through the conversation and getting an idea about what does it mean to be intentional? Because being intentional with what you say, that requires making an intentional choice in now. Those now moments are the only way that you can make some impacts because you can't do anything by yesterday. You have no control over tomorrow. So now, this is the moment right now that you can be intentional with what you say because it is in this moment that you'll be intentional with your efforts, with your energy, with your thoughts, with your words, with your behavior. And it is in that space that you will eventually mean what you say and only say what you mean. So you find yourself in this position right now and you're like, what do I do? Because this makes you feel worse if you're that individual that wants everybody else to do for you when you often don't mean what you say. And then when they look at you some type of way, it's a wonder. So if that moment where you're living with intention, I want you to pause. Ask yourself, what am I choosing right now? Did I make a commitment that I need to honor? Do I need to make an adjustment next on the actions that I will take to reflect on what needs to happen moving forward? And when you do that, you'll start noticing whether your words match what you say or don't. And you may be able to make a quick course correction. For a lot of us in situations where we are in environments where we are dependent on people to actually mean what they say and they don't, that impact is great. But course correcting, paying attention to the now, that's what gets you through the process. So, day two, this challenge is happening here inside of the group. And for those that are part of the Reset Strategist community, we're extending the conversation. And if you're not there, I encourage you to click the comments below so that you can get access. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, meaning what I say, and hoping you do as well. Take care, everyone.